Hey, what's going on, people? Knowledge here. I know it's been a minute since I came out here and did a video, but I figured I'd hit y'all with some news. I went back and forth with myself whether I should come out here and do a video on this, considering the line of work I do. For you guys that are not familiar with my channel, I do work within the music industry. I work with every label, every major label you can think of, whether it's business ventures, whether it's actually where I'm actually employed at, whether it's certain projects, certain artists. So I know the ins and the outs of the music industry. You get a lot of people who come out here and think they know things about the music industry. And if you actually are in the field, you laugh at a lot of things that you hear people say out here. People think it's some type of cult Illuminati shit, and everybody who's in the music industry, is out here sucking dick and, it has some type of Illuminati lord. I mean, all kind of crazy stuff. But, I figure I'll be the one to come out here and, give you guys this news. Considering I'm somebody that's an insider and I have an overall view of the music industry and things that go on outside and inside the industry. Now, there's been, some news that have came out with Russell Simmons, and he's being accused of, sexual harassment. Now, I don't know what's going on, but lately it's been a lot of people within the entertainment industry who are being accused of rape or sexual harassment. We just seen, the Joker from NBC, Matt Lauren, whatever his name is, he got fired from NBC. And it's been, you got with the Harvey Cat, and now Russell Simmons is getting hit. Now, it's been reported that Russell Simmons stepped down from his position at Def Jam Records. Now, for you guys that, are not within the industry, Russell Simmons is not, a mega figure over at Def Jam anymore. You got big guys who actually run the company, the ins and outs. You got Lucian Grage, you got Steve Bertle. Those are the guys who, the big shakers who actually run shit at Def Jam Records. It's not Russell Simmons. Russell Simmons is the image. He sold a lot of his, his shares within the business a very long time ago. Now, he is, part of the company, but he doesn't have as much power as people think he has. So, he decided to step down. Of course, he's still going to be within the music industry, still dealing with Def Jam. It's just for business reasons, he probably said, okay, for business reasons, I need to step down, because when you hold a certain type of image or a certain type of position in, these mega corporations, and you have a scandal like, rape or sexual harassment, it becomes serious and you jeopardize revenue coming to the company. So the best and the smart thing to do would be to step down from your position before you get fired or the company takes a hit, because nobody, no employee or figure or artist or whatever is bigger than the brand. Always remember that. It doesn't matter whether you flipping burgers at McDonald's or you are employed through some Fortune 500 company. Nobody is bigger than the brand. So if it's a toss-up between you keeping a job and protecting the company's brand, the brand is going to always win. Just always remember that. But, the media is out here, throwing shade on, Russell Simmons. And, I've had my bones to pick with Russell Simmons throughout the years. I remember when I used to go at the Arsenio Hall show, I used to be up there a lot. I was up there when they had Kendrick up there, Big Sean. Several artists. That was my spot to work at. And I remember when he was on the show, and I never forget it, Cat had all white on. And, I approached him, backstage, and I was like, I'm a fan of your work. But, I have somewhat of a bone to pick with you because of the Harriet Tubman skit that he had put out. And, I felt it was disrespectful. I felt that, us as Black Americans, we have to be cautious about how we display our historical figures. You're not going to see, anybody from any other group come out and do some ignorant ass sketch comedy skit with, using their they're historic and figures. You're not going to see, they're not going to disrespect their people, but it seems like black folks sometimes will do whatever to get a laugh or to make a dollar bill. You know, I approached him on that. I was like, you know, I feel like that was out of line. It was disrespectful. And he was like, well, you know, people took my comedy sketch out of, you know, context and et cetera, et cetera. And, you know, all in all, I had to go do my thing. He had to go do his thing on the show. So, you know, I've had my bones to pick with Russell Simmons. I don't go after him for the whole gangster rap thing. And I think a lot of people need to cut that shit out, because if we're not going to say anything about the violent movies that come out, and we're not going to say anything about, you know, violent books, and we're not going to say anything about rock music, if you yourself call women bitches, hoes, and thoughts, shut the fuck up, you know, because I think a lot of people, you know, they criticize certain people for gangster rap, but they don't realize that they display the same images. It's just not on a record. So, you know, I never went at Russell Simmons for that, but I have had my bones to pick with him. But given American history, or given you know, the things that are going on in this country right now and the climate we're in, given everything that's going on, it's easy to put a sexual harassment case or a rape case on a black man and publicly pronounce him as guilty. And we got a lot of our people out here, you know, I was listening to some sisters earlier, you know, talking about the whole Russell Simmons thing, and a lot of people are already saying this man is guilty. Now, Russell Simmons could very well be guilty, but he also can be innocent. And I feel like, you know, given the historical context here in America when it comes to black men and sexual harassment or rape cases, we need to stand back and we need to watch and listen and wait for everything to happen. Don't let the media basically program you to say, okay, well, Russell Simmons is a rapist, or Russell Simmons sexually harassed somebody, because they did the same thing with Bill Cosby. That's the #1 trick in the book. If you want to accuse a black man for something, or you want to basically destroy his character or his credibility or his livelihood, accuse him of rape, accuse him of sexually harassing people. And, you know, shout out to Mr. Griffin. You know, saw his video about, you know, the Mac guy, NBC. He gave me a shout out. He was reading one of my social media posts. And I was saying that, you know, I don't give a damn how good you look. When I'm in the workplace, I'm very professional. I don't date, you know, have any romantic relationships or any sexual relationships with anybody I work with, for the simple fact that things can be misconstrued very easily. You get in an intimate setting with someone. Somebody could, you know, take advantage of you in that intimate setting. You can say a simple hello to someone. Somebody could take that the wrong way. A simple body gesture can be taken the wrong way. And you can easily be accused of sexual harassment. And that's why I think, especially for black men, you have to be cautious when you are in the workplace, because the minute somebody, you know, and God forbid it's a white woman, but the minute somebody comes out and says you said something inappropriate to them, you know, you made some type of suggestive theme to them, your career is over. And, you know, I just think that it's something that, you know, people just need to be mindful about, but especially black men, considering that, you know, we are always guilty until proven innocent. We're not innocent until proven guilty. The minute somebody accuses of rape, we're guilty. So, you know, I mean, Russell Simmons, we all know the guy, you know, likes younger women. You know, he used to date Kamora, and, you know, from my knowledge, you know, he was checking her out, you know, before she turned 18. So, you know, there's a lot of old cats out here that like younger women. You know, older guys, like, they feel like they still got that spaz or that swag to pull a younger woman. But at the same time, a lot of times these younger women who are being opportunists, and I'm not excusing you know, sexual harassment or rape of any kind, but we have to be honest and truthful about some of the things that go on in the workplace or outside the workplace. A lot of these young women feel like, you know, they can fuck their way up the ladder, and they'll give Russell Simmons some ass. You know, they'll go out with him on a date. They'll marry him. They'll be in a relationship with him if they feel like it's going to better them and their career. They feel like they can have a more sustainable lifestyle. So these things do happen, but my whole thing is that we got to sit back, as especially as the black community, but as people in general, and let due process happen. Don't let the media, basically program you guys to call Russell Simmons, despite how you feel about him, but basically call him a rapist or someone who is displaying sexual harassment simply because they want you to believe that. The same way there's a certain tone for Matt Lauren and Harvey Weinstein and all these other cats out here. We need to have that same tone for black men when they get accused for things. Because it's always, some woman coming out 10, 12 years later talking about, he touched me, he did this. And if it was such a big deal, why didn't you say anything when it was going on? Especially towards a black man. Shit, you all you gotta say is a black man scratched my ass the wrong way and career's over. So, that's my whole, 2 cents on this whole Russell Simmons thing, man. Let's let, due process happen. Let's see what happens with this. Let's see what type of facts come out before we start throwing Russell Simmons under the bus, despite what you feel about him. Because guess what? When you take your personal issues and you castrate Russell Simmons, what you're doing is you're basically doing the same thing that these people who practice white supremacists do. These racist ass white folks do out here. You're doing and pushing the same narrative that they do. Let's not forget about Emmett Till. Let's not forget about George Stanley. Let's not forget about, the Central Park Five. All people have to do, is say a black man sexually assaulted me or he raped me and your ass is going to jail. So let's keep all this in mind. Let's keep the historical context of this in mind.